Yo and Andrew. How are you? Red? Go back, ask him for blue.
Okay.
Just ask him for a blue sticker.
Oh, hey,
He
Connor.
has to be all blue.
Connor, go on the live. Don't come over here.
That's my Elgato, you dingus. You guys even using the Elgato?
Yeah.
That's my Elgato, you dingus.
They're gonna break it. Why is it not showing?
It's not like I use it.
Oh my god, terrible shot.
That's Kevin George? Woo! Yeah, Kevin! Can we fix the lighting?
Oh boy.
Lighting!
You can go fix that. I mean, they really don't have to.
Doesn't matter.
I can check. Wait. Did you bring the audio? Connor. He did. Yeah. How do I check the fucking audio? Oh yeah, just so I got onto the live stream and I was able to hear sound.
I say we make it all on a scratch. Yeah. Exact scratch.
I got some.
Can you hear stuff? Yeah, the sound works. We can get onto the live stream. Which sound?
This is our game. Why are you trying to watch? Why? You're Oh, the light is bright. Hey, who wants to see Alex get picked for fourth round? You shut Mal down. Who wants to see Alex get picked? Yeah, you shut Mal down.
You guys gonna custom code a 3DS?
Hey, Bucket.
I asked for a hug on my hackathon. Yes.
I'm gonna take a picture in front of it.
Yeah, you can. Like, the lighting is so bad. The lighting is so bad. Everyone's black.
They will take their seats. We're about to get started.
Listen up. Turn off your
Everyone take their seats. Quiet, we're about to get started.
shirt.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome everyone to Hack Riverdale, Riverdale High School's first ever hackathon. Hack Riverdale is the site of Major League Hacking's Local Hack Day 2016. There are students at over 100 schools across the globe simultaneously hacking right now. It's crazy. My name is Kevin George, a computer engineering major at the New Jersey Institute of Technology, and I'm going to be your MC for this morning. And to kick things off, we have Shai to kick us off.
I'm Shai from Major League Hacking, and let me be the first person to welcome you to Local Hack Day hosted by GitHub. Local Hack Day is a really special event to me. It's a chance for you to unite your community and celebrate all of the awesome things that you've done this fall season. You're part of a community of 165 schools across the United States, Mexico, Canada, the UK, the rest of the EU, South America, Asia, including India, and also Africa. And that's 5 continents. And next year we're going to make it 6 and have Antarctica join in. Local Hack Day is really special to me. When we first started Local Hack Day here at MLH 2 years ago, we had 30 schools participate. This year we have 165. That's almost a 400% increase. And you might be thinking, that's amazing, but how do I see what's going on at all of those other schools? I want to know what's going on beyond just my own campus. And we have your back there. We're going to be Facebook Living from New York City and the UK all day long. You can tune in by just heading over to the Major League Hacking Facebook page and checking out any of those Facebook Lives. We're going to be showcasing all of the amazing projects. We're going to be running some games, and you can tune in anytime, and it's going to be a blast. And if you're not at New York City, or in the United Kingdom, but you still want to show off the projects that you made, we still want to see those projects too. You can tune into our Dev Post. If you've never used Dev Post before, it's a submission system for submitting hackathon projects. Our friends at Dev Post have made a Dev Post for us, and you can submit your projects to that. I highly encourage you to film a YouTube video so we can see you pitch in person. We're really excited to get to tune in and see everything that gets made. You can also take advantage of some of the amazing resources that we have for you today. If you've never coded before, we have some awesome workshops for you on the local Hack Day website. Things like Python, web development, Node.js, how to get started with an Arduino. All of those things are going to be on that website, and you can tune into those at your own pace. We want to make sure that you have an awesome time, and if you have any questions, feel free to post in the Slack, which you should have an invite to. And if you don't, your local organizer can help make sure that you get invited in. In addition to those workshops, we've also got some really cool resources for you. Our friends over at domain.com have hooked every single one of you up with a free domain code. That'll get you a free .com, .org, and .net domain, including Whois Privacy, for an entire year. And if you want a domain that isn't one of those three, they also have your back. You can use the promo code HACKDAY to get 18% off anything on the domain.com website. If you need a place to host your website, we also have AWS credit for you. AWS has $100 in free credit for you, which you can redeem at bit.ly/AWSLHD3. And that'll be available all day long for you to take advantage of. We also have been partnering with an amazing organization called Hack Harassment. If you think online harassment stinks, which we all do, you can go to their website, hackharassment.com/MLH. You can sign up for a pledge where you commit to fighting online harassment online, and when you see online harassment, you'll call it out. We have some more amazing resources thanks to our presenting partner, GitHub, and I'm going to hand over the mic to Joe, who can tell you about all the awesome things that they're doing for you today.
Thank you, Shai. Hi everyone, I'm Joe from GitHub Education, and I'm here just to briefly tell you a little bit about some of the things you can expect from GitHub this Local Hack Day 2016. So firstly, I just want to say that we're really excited to be a part of Local Hack Day this year. Local Hack Day is always a fantastic event. It gives so many new people access to hackathons. It enables us to interact with you, local communities, your local schools, and for us that's the most exciting part. We want to help you hack, we want to help you build whatever it is that you want to build. So as well as us being available at several events throughout the weekend, and also always we're available live on Slack at #GitHub, we're also going to make sure that you can get hold of the GitHub Student Development Pack. So the GitHub Student Development Pack is a collection of tools and resources you can use to build, whether you want access to Amazon Web Services, DigitalOcean, SendGrid, Microsoft Azure, or maybe you're looking to learn and you want access to a Udacity Nano degree, Thinkful, HackHands, those sorts of things. You'll find loads of services and development tools listed in that pack. We're adding new ones all the time. We've just added GitKraken. So if you're starting off trying to learn Git this weekend, GitKraken is a wonderful interface to do that. And you'll be able to find workshops on the MLH channel we've made just for Local Hack Day in order to help you get a head start. So come say hi to us at the event if you see us. Go to education.github.com/pack to sign up for that education pack. It's free as long as you're a student, and access to all of the tools in it is free as long as you're a student. And check out the Slack channel, #GitHub, in order to come and chat with us throughout the weekend. Happy hacking, hope you have a wonderful time.
Hi everybody, Tim from Major League Hacking here. I'm calling in from London in the United Kingdom to tell you a little bit more about the company coordinating Local Hack Day, Major League Hacking. Major League Hacking is the official student hackathon league. We help support 250 hackathons in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and Europe every year. And 65,000 students attend those events to spend the weekend learning new things, building cool technology, and meeting new friends. And at the end of the year, we'll award prizes to the top universities. If you're interested in attending a weekend-long hackathon in the US, Canada, Mexico, or Europe, then definitely check out mlh.io to see events that are near you. And if you don't see anything near you, definitely get in touch and we can help you organize one. And our partners GitHub will even be your very first sponsor. We started Local Hack Day 2 years ago to help celebrate local communities. And in 2017, we're going to be launching a program called Localhost, where we provide you with the resources to run workshops and activities in your local community, anywhere in the world. So definitely stay tuned for that in 2017. So thanks again to our partners GitHub, and happy hacking, everybody.
I want to take a moment to get a little serious here and talk to you about the Major League Hacking Code of Conduct. The TLDR of our Code of Conduct is be respectful. Harassment and abuse are never tolerated. If someone tells you something that you're doing is making them uncomfortable, that's enough reason to stop. We want to make sure that everyone has an amazing time this weekend, but if you're feeling uncomfortable for some reason, feel free to reach out. You can check out the Major League Hacking website for our full code of conduct, and that includes a phone number that you can call and also an email that you can send us a message. You're also welcome to reach out to an organizer at your local hack day and let them know what issue you're having, and they'll make sure to address it. That said, we hope that you have an amazing weekend today and have an awesome local hack day. I want to take a moment again to thank GitHub, our hosting sponsor, and happy hacking, everyone.
To kick things off, please welcome our first speaker, the Bergen County Prosecutor, Mr. Kabir Gurwal. Mr. Gurwal?
So good morning, everyone. So when Greg called me and told me about this event, I was incredibly impressed. And I'm even more impressed having walked in here and seen it come together as it has. And that sort of led me to think about, as I was sitting here, what I would be doing when I was your age in high school in 9th grade. And the answer is easy. At this time, when I was in high school, I'd probably be sleeping. And frankly, I would be sleeping this morning if it weren't for this event as well. But your generation is different. You know, you live in a different world. Things have changed. You know, technology has changed incredibly. And you're not sleeping. You're not wasting time. And you can't, because, you know, if you look back to you know, when I was in high school or when I was, you know, your age, you know, and I was thinking about this over the last couple of days as I was preparing, you know, what to say to you this morning. Everything's changed. If you look at movies, you know, when I was in high school in the 1980s, 1988, the #1 movie was a movie called Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And have you heard of that? Has anyone seen it? A couple of people. So, Scott, don't count. But Who Framed Roger Rabbit was an animated movie, and it combined animation and live movie footage. And the interesting thing is that those animators, when they made that movie, they had their live footage, and then they hand animated and placed those cells over the movie cells of the live action, and that's how that was done. You flash forward to today, you know, this year, one of the most highly, you know, the most high-grossing animated film of all time came out this year, and it was Finding Dory, which was all computer-generated. And it was all done with CG tools, and it was all done by Pixar using just incredible tools to simulate things that could never have been done back in the 80s. If you look in other areas too, if you look, for example, in, you know, video games, which is big today. When I was in high school in the 80s, Nintendo had just come out. And we thought that pixelized animation, which you guys would probably laugh at now, was sort of the height of what computers can do, what gaming could be. But you flash forward to today, gaming is highly realized. Those graphics are just so realistic, and that's sort of the expectation today. If you look at computers, you know, in the 80s, computers, in 1980, about 1 million households across the country had computers. It was something, if you could afford it, you could have a computer. At the end of the 80s, about 14 million households had computers. Today, it's difficult to even count that number because it's in the billions. You know, you look at the internet. In the 80s, the internet didn't even exist. You know, it was something, the public internet didn't exist. You know, there was a private internet that was controlled by the government and was available to a few universities. In the 80s, you had CompuServe and bulletin board services that sort of linked people. And there were I think about 300,000 CompuServe users at that time. Today, there are over 3 billion internet users. And that's about 40% of the world's population has access to the internet. And that's amazing. And it's, that connectivity from a law enforcement perspective, however, has resulted, in a shift in how crime happens. Because if we look back to the 80s, and if we just focus on computer crime, back in the 80s, you didn't really have sort of the criminal hacking that we're seeing today. You didn't have the criminal cyber crimes that we're seeing today. What you had in the 80s is you had people who were hacking, and they were hacking into the phone services to try to get free phone service. They were pranking. They were trying to build their reputations on these bulletin boards that they were on. And probably one of the most notable cases in the 1980s was when a guy hacked into Southern Bell, into the phone switch, and redirected all the calls from the Palm Beach probation department, the calls going in there, to a woman named Tina, who was a phone sex operator in New York. So anyone calling there was getting this woman in New York State. That was it. That was sort of the level of hacking that was happening back in the 80s. You flash forward to today, in one fell swoop, in a matter of days, a bank and a series of banks lose $1 billion. You look at national security today. Back in the 80s, it was just about the Cold War was sort of thawing, and it was about missiles and bombs. Today, we have a fear of cyber attacks from a national security perspective. And we have been the victims of cyber attacks in this country. And those cyber attacks have involved attacks on our infrastructure, our water systems. And so that's the reality, but that's also the opportunity for each of you in this room, because you have, given your skill set and your interest in technology and computer science, you have the ability to make our community safer, to help protect our country. That's because, the bank robberies of the future are not going to involve guns. They're going to involve command and control servers, they're going to involve proxy servers, they're going to involve malware. The wars of tomorrow are not going to involve weapons and missiles. They're going to involve logic bombs, they're going to involve silicon, they're going to involve microchips, right? That's the reality that you can help us sort of defend against and prepare for. So that's why I'm so excited about what you're doing here today from a law enforcement perspective, because everything we touch on today in law enforcement has a cyber component, whether it's a homicide, whether it's a computer crime. The forensic side of it is where those cases are made. We have a forensics lab and a cyber crimes unit in our office, and in every case, those cases, the most critical evidence is the cyber evidence, what we can get from the phones, what we can get from the computers. So you are in a unique position to fill those jobs and to fill those roles moving forward. And so I hope you have a wonderful day today. I hope that you learn to collaborate with each other, that you learn that teamwork and working in groups is really the way to get things done. In many ways, my job as a prosecutor is easy. I have 265 people that work for me, but we work as a team. And my job's easy because I get to take credit for all the hard work that they do, but it only gets done because of the teamwork, right? So I hope you learn to collaborate. I hope you learn to innovate, think outside the box, learn from the people around you. Don't be afraid to change your thinking and to pick up something from your colleagues, and pick up some friendships. Develop some friendships and relationships with the people here, because you guys are going to be in this together moving forward for the long term. And let me just close by saying, I hope next year when we come to this event, I know Riverdale has a game against Altapan tonight. I hope Riverdale wins, but I hope next year we have signs similarly, celebrating hackathons and events like this, because I think they're as critically important as those football games that are being celebrated and cheered on outside the hallways. So I wish you all luck and have fun.
Thank you, Mr. Ruel. Next up, we have Assistant U.S. Attorney, Mr. Judwell.
Career is a really tough act to follow. I'm a very polished guy. I'm very fortunate to consider him a friend and also a former colleague. Just a little bit about myself. My name is Judd Welly, and I'm a federal prosecutor here in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. I went to public schools here in New Jersey, college at Rutgers. So I'm sort of born and bred here. And I'm so lucky to be able to work every day on behalf of the people of New Jersey and the United States as a federal prosecutor. And so what I do is I come into work every day and I work with federal and state law enforcement agents, just like Greg's dad, Scott, who's with the Secret Service, and with other great investigators at agencies like the FBI and Homeland Security and the New Jersey State Police, and also the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office. And what we do is we work as a team to go after cyber crimes. And we go after criminal hackers, we go after people who are threatening our national security by committing computer intrusions. We also go after people who are stealing our trade secrets and sensitive information that has our businesses leading in areas of technology, in defense, in pharmaceuticals, in the financial services industry. So it's a really, really exciting job. Now, my job is to be a coordinator of cybercrime in my office, and it's a really cool job, and I've had to grow into it because, unlike all of you, I did not grow up with a really strong computer background. I grew up with probably as much experience on computers as what Kabir was talking about on the Nintendo Entertainment System. So I was really good at Super Mario Brothers, but not so good at coding. I was really excited for this opportunity to come talk to you today and just lend my voice to the other voices supporting this project and what you guys are doing here in River. And the fact that you're giving up your Saturday morning, afternoon, and evening to do this. Because you are improving yourselves, you're growing out your skills that are going to make you succeed in life, in your careers, in your jobs, in your communities. But as Kabir had mentioned, you're also strengthening our community. Because the more of you and the more people like you that develop these skills, the stronger our community is going to be, the stronger our country is going to be to meet the challenges of tomorrow. So, it's a bright future for all of you. There's probably potential for you guys down the road to make tons of money, coding, developing products, going to work for companies like GitHub, organizing events like this. But I really also hope you give some thought in terms of giving back to your community and strengthening your community and possibly serving your government. Because it's really important. There are a lot of folks that look to our country as a source of money. There are countries that look to reduce our standing in the world. There are people there who are really, really bad actors who actually want to see harm come to our people. And so I've worked on cases involving terrorism, spies, criminal actors, and there's a lot of bad folks out there. And the internet is wonderful for all of its uses and all the great things we do to connect with each other and make our lives more convenient and easy. But it also gives people with bad intentions tremendous opportunity to hurt us, to reduce our standing, to steal money. So I really do ask you, as you move forward and as you envision yourself moving through life, moving through your careers, imagining that nice big house with a nice pool and fancy vacations, things like that. I'm sure all of you in this room will have the ability to cash in one day on your skills. But think along the way about the opportunities that you might have at different points in your career, either for part of your career or maybe even your entire career, to serve in government. And there's going to be so many opportunities for you to do that. People with great skills like you are going to be in great demand. So think about ways that you can live up to your potential, but also maybe contribute back. I know just working with law enforcement, there's tons of jobs with the FBI, with the prosecutor's offices, like mine, and like the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, the state police, and I think our next speaker also too came through different agencies of the U.S. government that I know hire a lot of people to help protect our country. So, with all that being said, again, just want to thank you for what you're doing here. Thank the organizers for allowing me to speak to you a little bit today. And I really just want to encourage you to have a lot of fun today and create some great tools and great technology. Thanks very much.
Great stuff, Mr. Welly. Next up, we have New Jersey's very own Chief Technology Officer, Mr. David Weinstein.
How's everyone doing? First, I want to thank everyone for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. The organizers of this event have been extremely impressive. The fact that this is largely, almost exclusively a student-run event speaks volumes about the talent that's in this room. I also want to thank the support of the school, the administration, and the district as well. So I'm Dave Weinstein. I'm the CTO, Chief Technology Officer of New Jersey. A little bit about my role in New Jersey. I work down in Trenton and oversee what's called the New Jersey Office of Information Technology. We employ about 750 technologists and security professionals who are responsible for all IT and security operations within the executive branch of state government. So all the departments and agencies down in Trenton. We provide networking services, we provide hosting services, security, application development and maintenance, storage. We're really trying to become the Amazon of the state government. So we're moving to the cloud, but also really keeping in mind all the security risks that governments now have to deal with, just like major corporations. I'm from Westfield, New Jersey, born and raised down in Union County. Got most of my experience in this space outside of the classroom. That's a key point I want to emphasize today. All of you are here because you want to get hands-on, practical experience as it relates to technology and cybersecurity. You deserve an unbelievable amount of credit. I'm standing here before you as the CTO of New Jersey and telling you that most of what I learned in the classroom either has nothing to do with what I'm currently doing or is technologically obsolete. So the fact that you guys have taken the initiative to show up on a Saturday morning, be present and be in the arena to get some hands-on practical experience is really commendable, so you should be proud of that. This is a space that's highly dynamic, and I often say that it's really easy to get left behind, but it's also really easy to stay up to date. And the way you stay up to date is you be present and be in the arena as you all are here today. I want to close my comments with one thought and hopefully a theme that you all think of as you go about your day today and beyond. As Grabir alluded to in the beginning, the internet, cyberspace, is growing rapidly. We all know about the Internet of Things. More and more devices are getting connected to the internet every day. We're looking at about 25 billion at least devices connected to the internet by the year 2020. That's a great thing. That's going to produce enormous efficiencies operationally, fiscally. It's going to make our world a better place. It's going to connect individuals, content, ideas. But it also introduces a lot of risk. Every device that is connected to the internet represents potential attack surface for malicious actors, people with political, ideological, or financial intentions to exploit cyberspace for their own personal or national gain. So in this room, we all have an obligation to keep that in mind as we go about our activities in the technology development, programming, coding space. Secure coding, keeping security in mind as we build new things is so critical. And I'm actually very optimistic that the next 10 years will be a lot better than the last 10 years in terms of the amount of vulnerabilities that exist in our cyberspace, in the digital commons that we call the internet. And that's because all of you are being brought up in a world where you understand technology. You're not building things just to make them talk with each other. You're building them so that they talk with each other in a secure manner. So for me, that's a huge priority moving forward. I'm really optimistic about the next generation's thinking when it comes to secure coding, secure development, and building things that not just operate efficiently, but also protect privacy and the security of our personal lives, our institutions, and of course our nation. So with that, I want to thank you again for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here, and I wish you guys all the best of luck.
Thank you, Mr. Weinstein. Up next is Mr. Patrick Fletcher, the superintendent of Riverdale.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? All right, I'm happy to go up there. So, 3 quick things. This is, as was just stated, a student-run idea. And some students, Greg and Mike, I'm going to just single them out, but there's a whole host of others, had this idea. And they spoke to their teacher, Dr. Chu, and also then spoke to Ms. Brooks, our principal, who will be up in a second. And they advocated for this idea that you had. And then they turned it over to Mrs. Williams, who's our director of technology, because somebody had to then figure out how to implement the idea, how to do it. And then Mrs. Williams brought in some of the other folks that we have working for us with here at Riverdale, and they're in the back, and they'll be here today. That's Matt and Rajiv and Mike and Mark, and they then figured out how to do what's going to happen today. And that's what you're going to do shortly. You're going to be presented with a problem, and you're going to have an idea, and then you're going to have to implement that idea, and then you're going to have to do it. So I am very confident that you're going to be successful, as we were when our students had this idea. So as I turn it over to everybody else, I want you all to do one thing for me. Everybody stand up for a second. Everybody stand up. Okay? And I want you to so if nothing else happens today, I want you all to be able to say, you got a standing ovation for your activity. So have it on.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Wow, that's very inspirational. Next up, we have Ms. Lorraine Brooks.
I'm the principal of Riverdale, and I can tell you when these guys came to me with this idea, I had no idea what they were talking about. However, I've learned a lot, and I've learned it from them. And I would advise you, if there is something, if there is a passion that you have, that you work on that. One of the things that we want you to have is passion. Find something that just excites you, that makes you want to learn more about it, something that you really love, and then go with it. Now, we would not have this event today if it were not for our students. So if I could have Greg and Mike stand up for a minute and take up a little bow here. Perseverance that needs to be part of our culture today. They know how to reach a goal, they know the obstacles, they're willing to overcome them. There are many challenges. They spoke with me, they spoke with Ms. Williams, they've spoken with everyone. And they've learned how to interact in the real world with all kinds of people. And that's what you're going to be doing today, whether it's in person or remotely. So I welcome you here, and if any of you need assistance, if you want to do something like this in your own school, we're certainly happy to help. So thank you so much for coming, and I want to thank our wonderful guests for coming. And if there's anything that you need, please ask and enjoy your day.
Now, finally, our esteemed organizer, Mr. Greg Serafian.
Morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's see a show of hands. Who has been to a hackathon before? Look at that. Absolutely. I like it. How about who hasn't been to a hackathon? Let's see those hands. A lot more. I like it. Well, like Kevin said in the beginning, you are a part of the largest day of student hacking all year. So simultaneously right now, there's 165 other schools that are participating in hacking all across the globe. So it's really, really cool, and we're happy to have you a part of it. Right now, I'm just going to go over some tricks of the trade while you're here. So first of all, let's talk about the school. So we were at Woodville High School, in case you didn't know. And this map will be available online, but it just highlights some of the areas where you can and cannot go. For example, the auditorium that we're in now, we have our two hacking spaces, the cafeteria and the library. The library is strictly for a quiet hacking space, so if you want a quiet space to work, definitely work in there. Also the library, and we're also offering a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. Anyone play Super Smash Bros? Oh yeah, I like it. So we're gonna have a Super Smash Bros. Tournament that you can sign up for online, and there's gonna be a bracket and everything. It's gonna be a lot of fun, with a chance to win a prize as well. Restrooms, as always, if you'll see, there's a little fork in the road in the map, right in the middle. The restrooms are right at that fork in the road, so just keep that in mind. Another thing I have to go over is that if you leave the building at any time, unfortunately we can't let you back in. So make sure that if you leave before time is up, that you have everything with you and you've collected everything. So next up, the yellow shirts. Have you seen them? Yeah, they're here to help. So the yellow shirts are our staff, and you can ask them any questions if there's any concerns, or like Shai from Major League Hacking said in the beginning, if you're uncomfortable for any reason, definitely reach out to them, or me, or Michael, or Kevin, and we can help you out with any questions. Just flag them down. So your mission today is to build something cool and original. So that could be anything. That could be a game, an app, a website. The only requirement is that you build a working prototype that demonstrates your hack. So we really just want to see you create something innovative and creative that maybe hasn't been done before, or hasn't been done in a way that's been effective yet. And so you might be thinking, well, I don't know how to code, or I've never built a game before. Well, we've got workshops for you to learn how to do that stuff. So we're offering 2 workshops. The first one is app prototyping. I'm teaching that one. And it's a workshop where you can build a functioning app prototype with no code required. So it lets you illustrate your idea really well without needing to know that code right away. That's going to be at 10 o'clock. And then also there's an introduction to HTML workshop that one of our other event organizers, Mike Vasile, is going to be teaching. It's teaching you the coding language of the web. So HTML and CSS, if you ever see like websites online and how pretty and neat they look, like our website, I know it's a good looking website, that's all built with HTML and CSS. So you can learn from our other event organizer, Mike Vasile, and the sign-ups for these workshops is going to be on the website as well. And if there is an overwhelming amount of signups, if we get more than we can fulfill, we'll definitely make a second round of workshops in the afternoon. Let's see. The day of page. There's a new page on the Hack Riverdale website. If you visit dayof.hackriverdale.com, it gives you all the information that you need to know for the day of. So, for example, it has an event map. It has the schedule of events for today, when like the Super Smash Bros. Tournament is taking place, when the meals are. And then it also has special links that you're gonna need to know. For example, like Shai said in that video that played earlier, everyone gets a free domain here, a free .com, .net, or .org domain. So you can go and claim those by visiting the links page on dayof.hackriverdale.com. So this is definitely a page I would bookmark. So keep that one in mind. Finally, everyone's favorite part, what can I win? You can win some awesome prizes, like first place wins an Intel Compute Stick. This is a tiny little stick that's smaller than my phone, and it just plugs right into a TV or monitor, and then you're just good to go. It's a computer in a stick, as the name implies. Second place team, each person on the team gets $50 Amazon gift cards. About that. And then third place is $25. So for these prizes, every single person on each team wins a prize. Another thing that I remember going over this is when you create your teams, make sure they have no more than 5 people on the team. You can have up to 5. And if you have trouble finding a team or you didn't come with a team, then you can talk to one of the people in the yellow shirts. They can help you find one. And also another thing with these prizes is that when we have our expo where everyone's presenting their hacks, that's going to be at the closing ceremony. So in order to be eligible for any of these prizes, you do have to stay until the closing ceremony, and that's going to be later tonight starting around 10 o'clock. So next up, some other prizes. You might have seen online, we are raffling off an Xbox One, courtesy of Microsoft. Got that? Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Again, this is a raffle prize that you have to stay until the closing ceremony to be eligible for. And another raffle prize that we have courtesy of our sponsor HP is an HP 2-in-1 detachable laptop. That's like magic. Look at that, it's floating. So that's going to be raffled off at the end as well. So definitely stick around for that and submit hacks. You think you're worthy of winning that. I want to take a moment to thank all of our generous sponsors, Microsoft, K2 Intelligence, which provided you with all the shirts that you got today, Center for Internet Security, the Riverdale Parent-Teacher Organization, Oradell Kids Foundation, Palo Alto Networks, HP, as we said, Intel, also our food vendors, Collaborative Pizza down the road on Kinderkamak, and also Schreiber's right next door. And then also our 2 partners for the hackathon, GitHub and Major League Hacking. So without their support, this event would not be possible whatsoever. We definitely also want to thank all of our speakers, Mr. Gary Grohl, Judd Welly, David Weinstein, Brian Sinclair for being here as well. Also, definitely, this event would not be possible without the support of Mrs. Brooks, our principal. Let's give her a hand. And absolutely, also the superintendent, Mr. Patrick Fletcher, and Mrs. Williams. Let's hear it. We also want to thank the custodial staff as well. They helped us set everything up. Yeah, custodial staff. Finally, everyone wanted to know what the password was. We were trying to crack it earlier, but here it is. The password to our Wi-Fi is already hackathon. You can take a picture or open up those laptops and fill it in now. There's also going to be signs around the school that have this password. But that is it for our opening ceremony. We thank you so much for being a part of it. And we'd also, actually, I forgot one thank you. The technical department, let's hear it for them. So that concludes our opening ceremony. Definitely, for updates, follow us at Hack Riverdale on all of these sites. You don't want to miss the updates that are there. There's going to be some fun stuff, I'll tell you what. dayof.hackriverdale.com, our Wi-Fi. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Happy hacking.
I need quiet.